know anything.
How many sisters do you have?
Uh, two, no, three cousins.
Three cousins. Do you have your own sister?
No, only brother.
Hello, teacher.
Hi, Daphne. How are you, Daphne? You actually made a surprise. I was not expecting any girls today, but you're here.
Yeah, well, I am home almost all the time, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, today is International Ladies' Day, right? Women's Day, Girls' Day, whatever. Do you celebrate at
Women's
home?
Day. Teacher, I just stayed at home because I just came from skiing. And firstly, that, and secondly, in a few weeks we're going to Turkey, so I'm not gonna do anything. And my parents, they were already like at work. My mom and my dad, they were both at work.
Today they
So
are
I
working.
just,
It's not public holiday
yes,
today.
it isn't a holiday, like an international one, especially, but it's not like celebrated that way in Turkey. You don't like get a break of work, so we have to obey the Turkish rules.
No, no, I mean now, right now, today in Azerbaijan, is it public holiday today?
Yes, it is. In Azerbaijan, it is. But not in Turkey, so we have to obey those rules. So just, yeah.
What do you mean? Now your parents are in Azerbaijan, but they didn't have holiday today.
Yes.
Why?
So like our company is half bought by like Turkish company and like half from
But
Azerbaijani
but
company.
but today is
Like British
international.
Petrol,
Today is
it's
international
like,
holiday, right? It is
I
international.
know, it's like half BP, British Petrol, and like there's this Azeri company, which is just like helping company, and then the Turkish company Techfen. So my parents work for the Turkish company. So whatever payments that they're getting or like sort of holidays that they're getting, it's supposed to be the same with any other like employer of the same company.
Okay, good.
So it is here celebrated like with a break, but not in Turkey and
Mm,
not necessarily that way. And I think it might also be counted as overtime because yeah, I think since it was half day like break, after half day, women could go home. But my mom just wanted to stay with my dad and just,
mm,
because it doesn't
good.
really matter because we're not going to go anywhere with my mom. We're just going to stay at the house, like, look at our devices and, yeah.
Okay, good. So Daphne Musa, this week also let's continue with this paper, okay? And I was planning to finish until 2016. At least now we are going a little bit slowly, but that's okay. So Musa, do you have time to practice these questions at home? I mean, not in the class time, but or you're too busy with your school homework.
I don't know. Sometimes I had time, sometimes I didn't.
Okay, good. Now also Sona is here. Before I start, actually, I want to ask you one logic question. Okay, let's see who actually can do and how. I just want to see your solution. Okay. Musa, can you read the question?
And the woman and Carol and two men Bob and David are athletic. One is a swimmer, a second is a skater, a third is a gymnast, and a fourth is a tennis player. On a day they were sit, seated around a square table. The swimming sat on ends left. The gymnast sat across from Bob. Carol and David sat next to each other. A woman sat on the skater's left. Who is the, who is the tennis player? Hmm.
Daphne, did you understand the question?
Yes, kind of.
Sona, welcome. Are you there?
Oh, yes, I am.
Okay, good, good. Happy Women's Day, Sona and Daphne. Guys, let's actually
Thank
think
you.
about, you're welcome. Let's think about this question, Daphne. It's a really interesting question. Not so hard, but a
Mhm.
little bit logical question. Okay. and give a try. Let's see who can get the right answer. All right, that's you have 2 minutes, and after that, let's continue with S2. As you see here, this is also a Sasmo question, but it was asked primary 5 questions in 2014.
Carol?
Are you sure?
Not at all.
Okay, let's see. Let's wait for Daphne and Sona. And I'm sure one of these girls, they answer correctly this question. I hope. 1.5 more minutes. Musa, how did you actually get the answer? Did you draw square
Yeah,
table and after that locate people there?
yeah. Like I draw a square and place them.
But how did you get Carol then?
I don't know.
Let's wait 1 more minute and after that let's discuss together. Sona, any answer? Or still thinking?
Almost.
Almost. Okay. Daphne?
Yes.
Did you get anything?
No, teacher, not really. Teacher, I actually have been solving like math problems from like early morning, so my brain is a little bit tired.
Yeah, it's possible. Sometimes when I get tired, also I cannot answer very simple questions. Last time I was teaching one
It's not
student on
hard,
Sunday,
teacher.
and
It's not a hard like question.
no, I
By
mean
the way, I
sometimes
wanted to ask you about it. Teacher, do you know who's like what's the highest mark? Like who
highest
has the
mark of what?
highest mark in the test we had?
What is it?
Like what's the highest mark? No, I'm just asking. I don't know.
94.
What do you mean, Musa? 94. Who got 94?
I don't know, but when I ask who's the highest like point, how's point has, they said like 94.
Hmm. I
That's
don't know.
good.
Maybe this week I will learn, I think, from Mr. Adalat's. I don't know the results. Okay, Donna, do you have any answer?
I think it's N, but like I'm not sure
But why N? Why?
because like when I think of it in my mind, it kind of makes the most logical one.
Hmm. Okay, now let's do this. So, anyway, you understand the question. We know that Anne and Carol, they are women, and Bob and David, they are men. Okay, and we have four different athletes here. The first one, actually using these four statements, right, we need to draw a conclusion, and that's a logic, especially if you're going to study what is it, law or something, you need to study this kind of logic, right? So the swimmer sat on Anne's left. So where do I locate Anne? It doesn't matter, right? I should start from somewhere, okay? So because location is not important here, what is it? It is what actually they play. So suppose that Anne is sitting here. That is Anne is sitting here, right? It says that the swimmer is sat on Anne's left. So that is left, right, up, and down is right. So that means the swimmer is sitting here. Let's say swimmer is here. But I don't know who is the swimmer. So we are done with the first statement. That actually gives us this information. Second one, the gymnast sat across from Bob, right? So gymnast sat across from Bob means actually if Bob is here, right? At the top, it must be gymnast, which means that Bob cannot sit at the bottom. So that's not possible for Bob. So if Bob sits here at the top, the gymnast must be here, right? And if Bob is sitting here, then gymnast must be sitting here. Okay. For Bob, we have two possible seats, either here or here. But now I'm not sure. Let's just guess either at the top or on the right. Now we are done with the second statement. And the third one, it says that Carol, women, and David, men, right? They sat next to each other. Okay, which means that now from the C, if Carol and David sat next to each other, Bob cannot sit on the right hand side of the table. Why? Because if Bob is sitting on the right, on the left, and is sitting, then Carol must be either sitting at the top or bottom, right? Which means that Carol and David are sitting right opposite to each other, which is not possible because in the question they are saying that they are sitting next to each other, which actually forces us that the Bob must be sitting at the top, which means that the gymnast is sitting at the bottom. So, and the bottom part. So here at the top, Bob is sitting for sure. So now Carol and David are sitting next to each other. That means that either Carol is sitting here, then David must be sitting here. Or if David is sitting here, Carol must be sitting here. Now we have two possibilities. Okay, now suppose that, let me just suppose the first one. Carol is there and David is here. And it says that a woman sat on the skater's left, right? So a woman is sitting. So actually this Carol is sitting and sitting on whose left? Is B's left, right? But B is swimmer. But here N is also a woman, but he's sitting on the left of gymnast, that is David. So that means that this position is not possible for them. So that means that D, it must be here, Carol must be here. So actually Carol is sitting on the left of David. So that means it says a woman sat on the skater's left, so David must be skater. Okay, which means that swimmer, gymnast, skater is gone. So what is left? Only tennis player, which means that N is tennis player. So the answer is N is tennis player. Okay, Musa, what do you think? Do you agree?
Yeah,
It is not so hard, I think, but a little bit you need to think. Sona, any questions?
No.
But your guess is correct. Okay, so N is a tennis player here. Guys, let's move. Today, we are going to practice some questions from Sasmo 2015, secondary 2. It is, we again, as you know, we have 25 questions. The first 15 questions, they are not so hard questions, but still, we need to think a little bit, okay? And after 15, it actually, they are a little bit more difficult questions, and maybe we'll have more discussion on those questions. Okay. Musa, read the question one, and let's solve it together. Let's
The
say a few
diagram
questions
shows,
together, and after that, maybe I'll give you some time, and you may think. And okay, Musa, read it.
the diagram shows a big rectangle that is made up of four small identical rectangles. If the smaller dimension of one of the small rectangle is 9, find the area of the big rectangle.
Okay. So the diagram shows a big rectangle. The big one is a rectangle that is made up of four small identical rectangles. Identical means they are exactly the same, right? If the smaller dimension of one of the small rectangles, the smaller dimension means, what is it? We know that every rectangle has length and width. So width is the smaller dimension, length is bigger dimension. So that means that this W, right? The smaller dimension of one of the small rectangles is 9. So that means that if this one is 9, this also 9, this also 9. So that means that 999, actually on the left-hand side, it should be 27. What is 27? That's the length of one small rectangle, which means that this should be 27. And that is 9, right? What is the question? Find the area of the big rectangle. So the area of the big rectangle, its length, 9 plus 27, that's equal to 36. And here we have width, it is 27, which is equal to 36 times 27, that's equal to 972 cm squared. So the area should be 972 square centimeters. Okay, Musa, is it okay?
Yeah, it was easy.
Good. Find the next term of the following sequence. What do you think, guys? Can you see the rule here? Can you see the pattern here?
Kind of.
What is the rule?
Oh, I found the answer. It's a D.
D. How did you get it?
Multiply the term and then subtract by 1.
Okay. So the rule is start your number sequence with 3 and 2, right? And to generate or to get the next term, multiply preceding two terms and subtract 1, right? So that is 3 times 2 minus 1, it is 5. And here we have 2, 2 times 5 minus 1, it is 9. And here we have 5, 5 times 9 minus 1, it is 44. So next one should be 9 times 44 minus 1, that's equal to 395. So the answer is D. Very good. How about this one? So now after answering question 2, this must be a piece of cake for you. An operator, this is actually plus in a
I'm gonna
circle.
try to.
Huh? What is it?
Why does it make it to put it around the circle? Like, why does it have to be like that? What change does it make?
Because this is a special operator. It's not like plus. If you just put plus, you may get confused, right? So when you put circle, actually, they actually carry out something different. It is different from normal addition.
So it's plus, but with special abilities.
Yes. And in math, we call such things operator,
Okay.
right? Also, plus is one operator, minus sign is one operator. But this is another different operator here that carries out some different operation.
I have a question. Why is C and D the same number?
A. Teacher, is it A?
Oh, my guess is A as well.
Okay. So your guess is A. All right. A, right? Musa, did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the square of first and the square of second.
And write them side by side, right? Or next to each other. 4 squared is
Yeah.
16, 9 squared 81. So that means according to this, 5 squared 25, 7 squared 49. So the answer is A. Okay, good. How about this? If the 5-digit number 54567 is divisible by 12, right? And we know that actually for a number to be divisible by 5, it should be divisible by 3 and it should be divisible by 4. And because we know that this 3 and 4, they are relatively prime numbers because only the common factor is 12. Because in number theory, we say that if two numbers are relatively prime, if the number is divisible by 3 and it is divisible by 4, that means that that number must be divisible by their product. And number one, first, divisibility by 3, right? What numbers is divisible by 3? Their sum should be divisible by 3. That is 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus n. That's equal to 9, 15, 22. 22 plus n. It should be divisible by 3. And 4, how about 4? The last two digits, right? It should be divisible by 4. That is 7n, right? So what numbers between 70 and 80, they are divisible by 4? That is 72 and 76 only. And if it is 80, n will not be that digit. So now, if you substitute, for example, 2, if n equals 2, this one's 24 divisible by 3. If it is 6, 22 plus 6, 28, it's not divisible by 3. So the only answer is, what is it? N should be equal to 2. So the answer is D. About divisibility. Musa, read the question.
The diagram shows a square, a regular hexagon, and parts of a regular polygon. How many sides does the later polygon have?
Okay. Guys, again, let's solve this together and maybe I'll ask you the next question. Okay, also the next question was a similar and easy one. So again, just one thing, we are repeating that thing, all right. If you are given n-sided polygon, right? N-sided polygon. And what is the sum of the interior angles of this polygon? That is just equal to 180 times n minus 2, right? So now how about if we are talking about regular polygon, and to find one angle, just sum, we need to divide this by n, right? N minus 2 over n, it gives us one interior angle because regular polygon means all interior angles are equal. Now from this picture, from this diagram, actually since it is right angle, right, and this one is hexagon, what is one angle of the hexagon? One angle of the hexagon, it is 180 times 4 over 6, which is equal to, what is it? 30, 120. So this angle is 120, this angle is 90. Now what is the measure of one interior angle of this polygon? And here alpha is equal to 360 minus 120 minus 90, which is equal to 270, 150 degrees. And all angles are equal. From here, 150 is equal to 180 times n minus 2 over n, right? Or this 0, 0 cancel each other. By 3, it is 5. By 3, it is 6. So here we have, and also take this n to the left-hand side. See, we have 5n equals 6 times n, 6n minus 12, right? Now what is n? N equals 12. That means that this polygon has 12 sides. Musa, you read the question and tell me the answer. You must know this now very well. Read the question first.
A palindromic number is a whole number that reads the same forward and backward. For example, 1 to 1, 1000.
221.
How many six-digit palindromic numbers are there?
So we
Hmm,
know what is a palindromic number, right? We actually have seen this a few times. And we are talking about 6 digits. It's the first digit, the second one, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. How many 6-digit palindromic numbers are there?
hmm, hmm.
Again, this is the 6-digit, right? The first digit, it should be different from 0. So from 1 to 9, we have only 9 choices here. So 9. The second number, it can be anything. So I have 10 choices here. And third number, it can be anything. Also, I have 10 choices here. Since it says that it reads the same forward and backward, right? And these two numbers must be the same. Whatever you write in the third place, also you must write in the fourth place. That means that here I have only one choice. If it is like 2 here, it must be 2. If it is 3, it must be 3. If it is 4, it must be 4. So how about here, the fourth one, also it must be the same with the second digit. Also, I have only one choice. And the last one must be the same with the first one. Also, I have one choice. Now, using simple counting principle, how many? 9 times 10 times 10, that is equal to 900. So the answer is 900. Okay,
Okay.
good. All right. Sona, read the question.
Oh, okay. A farmer buys 36 meters of fence to build an enclosure to keep his livestock. He decides to erect a four-sided enclosure in such a way that it has the largest possible area. Find the area of the enclosure.
Okay, find the area of the enclosure. Enclosure means we are going to enclose some area. It says that to keep his livestock, he decides to erect a four-sided, right? That means that that is rectangular shape. So that is rectangular shape. And it says farmer buys 36 meters. So that means that let's say this side is A, this side is B. And also this is B, and also that's A, right? That means here we have
Is it
perimeter.
72?
2A plus B is equal to 36. That is A plus B is equal to 18. What is it?
I was gonna say, is the answer 72?
No, the answer is 81. Usually if it's a
Oh, why
rectangle,
though?
when actually it has a maximum area if A is equal to B. And if you answer why is it so, because if you find the area, right, because it says find the area of the enclosure, right, the biggest area. So let's say area is length times width. Now from here, this relationship, what is it? B? It is 18 minus A. So if you substitute here A times, what is B? 18 minus A, which is equal to minus A squared plus 18A. Now I can just write it as minus A squared minus 18A. And I just add here 81 and subtract 81. Okay, why did I do so? Because here A squared minus 18A plus 81, and you must be familiar with this, it's a perfect square, right? I can just write it as A minus 9 squared. But this minus, outside here we have plus 81, right? Or I can just write it like this, 81 minus A minus 9 squared. What is this? It's the area, right? When area is the maximum, we are subtracting something when this thing is equal to 0. When that's equal to 0, when A is equal to 9. Otherwise, it will be less than 81. If it is not 9, the area will be less than 81. So when A is equal to 9, also B is equal to 9. That means that that is a square shape. Also square is a special rectangle. And that's why the maximum area will be 81. Now, so if you just check this, suppose that each side is 999 meters, right? What is the total length? It is 36 meters. What is the area? 9 times 9, it is 81. Okay,
Okay.
But like
good.
this sounds so nonsense. Like we had to find that with such a long process. Is there any like easier version to find this, or this is kind of like the only possible way?
This not so, this not, Sona, that is not a long way. If it is rectangle, the shortest way is, Sona, when actually, if it is rectangular shape, it has the biggest area. If it is a square shape. If it is square, 36 is divided by 4, it is 9. 9 squared is 81. If it is rectangular shape. If it is not rectangular shape and we don't have any shorter way, you have to go through some process. But that is just simple version. But when you go to maybe grade 11, at that time, you will see that you have to use derivative or differentiation to get the answer, because that is not that easy process. But this one is a special case. It's rectangle. The only way is it has maximum area if length is equal to width. That's actually, if you remember this, then in a second you can answer this question. I mean, why am I doing this? In case if you forget this, then you have to go through this process, because here I get quadratic equation and quadratic function. And how do you find the minimum or maximum value quadratic function? Only way is I have to write this in this form. In this form means f of x. I should write this as a times x minus x sub 0 squared plus y sub 0. If a is negative, this y sub 0 is maximum value. If a is positive, then y sub 0 gives us minimum value. But actually now I think in grade 9 you will be asked such questions, not in this grade. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So now, why do you think just 2 steps? Is it long? It's not so long. It's just 2 steps.
No, I mean like with the A's, like we have to do so much work with the A's. That's why.
Mhm. Okay. All right. Musa, read the question.
A number gives of a number gives a remainder of 5 when divided by 10. Another number gives a remainder of 4 when divided by 10. The sum of this number is multiplied by 3 to give the third number. What is the remainder of the what is the remainder when this number is divided by 10?
That's very easy question, right? And first thing is a number gives a remainder of 5 when divided by 10. What does it mean? That if number is, let's say that number is n, when divided by 5, let's say that 5 times a, sorry, when divided by 10, right? That is 10 times a, remainder is 5. And another number gives a remainder of 4 when divided by 10. So another number m, if you divide by 10, okay, the quotient is some number, I don't know, we don't need this, and the remainder is 4. The sum of these two numbers, right, is multiplied by 3. So that means that m plus n, that is 10. Here we have a plus b, right? And 5 plus 4, it is 9. So now if you multiply this by 3, here we have 3 times m plus n. 3 times 10, it is 10 times a plus b, okay? And here I have 3. Actually, the whole thing. Anyway, let me just write here like 3 times a plus b, and 3 times 9 is equal to 27, right? And this one is divisible by 10. So if you divide 27 by 10, the remainder is 7. This is just explanation, Sona. But of course, without doing this, we can just write this, right? Okay, if you divide by 10, remainder is 5. Divide by another number by 10 is 4. So 4 plus 5 is 9. Multiply by 3, it is 27. And divide by 10, it is 7. So remainder is 7. Okay. Good. Musa, read the question. At least when you read this, you know, you can remember these questions. That's why I want you to read it. And after that, we will do it together. Musa, read the question.
A big cube is made up of 64 small cubes. As the faces of the big cube are then painted, how many of the small cubes have exactly one painted face?
Before, if you remember, actually, we saw the question where it was made up of 27 small cubes, right? And how many faces have exactly two painted faces? Or how many of the small cubes have exactly two painted faces? But here it says only one. So a big cube is made up of 64 small cubes. So that means that we know that a cube has 6 faces. If you just look at one faces, right? I mean, just look one face. Okay, look into you. So 64, that means that each face has how many? 4, right? Here we have 1. Uh, okay, it's like this, right? Because 4 times 4 times 4, that is 64. That is just one face of the cube, right? So what faces are painted? I mean, only exactly one painted face. As here, this one, right? And this one, and this one, and this one. And others, it just curved, right? The other side, 2 faces painted. And also others at the corner, 3 faces, corner, 3 faces, but here, 2 faces. So only in the middle are four of them, actually only one, exactly one painted face. So since how many faces does it have? It has 6. On each face, only we have 4 cubes with exactly one painted face. So altogether, only 24 cubes have exactly one painted face. So that answer is 24. Daphne, are you sleeping already?
No, teacher.
Or drawing? What are you doing? You are so quiet.
It's just my brain is a little bit like tired, but I'm actually doing the questions. It's just takes me a little bit more time than it is.
Yeah, actually, if you have more time, maybe you can do this. But, you know, also experience is important because now by doing these questions, at least you have some idea how to do the question. And now by just practicing 1 or 2 questions, you can just, how to say, consolidate your knowledge and you can do this much, much faster. Because now you're just collecting ideas and getting some knowledge. And after that, to improve your speed, you need to practice. Okay, let's move to the next question. Okay, everybody, that's easy question. Let's see. You have 1.5 minutes to do this. You give it a try first, and after that, we will see together. I just wonder how you solve this in a faster way.
B?
B,
Yeah.
only 2.
Yeah.
How did you solve it, Musa?
Give and try.
No, I mean, for example, here, okay, if you just watch this, if you saw in this way, it would be great. Like 108 over n cubed, right? So that means that's also here, it must be something number cubed and also divisible by m. So this 108, I can write it as 4 times 27 over n cubed. And I can write it as 4 times, what is 27? It is 3 cubed. 3 over n cubed. Okay. So for the whole thing to be a whole number, this thing must be a whole number. Otherwise, it cannot be. That means that what numbers cube is whole number? The whole numbers cube is whole number. That means that 3 over n must be a whole number, which means that n is equal to 1 or 3. Only we have two possible answers. So if both n and 108 over n cube are positive integers, how many possible values of n? Only 2. Okay, Musa, in this question, even if they ask a bit harder question, using this method, you can get the answer very accurately and very fast.
Okay.
Good. Okay, and we did similar question. All right, guys, give it a try. Let's see. That's also easy question. Just 1.5 minutes, or let's say 2 minutes. Here, the idea in this kind of questions, actually, you need to just find the prime factorization of this number. And after that, you can see how we can write as a product of two numbers where neither of the two numbers has 10 as a factor. Okay, any answer?
I don't know. I can't.
Look, this 10,000, right? It's 100,000, right? I
Yeah.
can divide this by, for example, 4. It is 25,000. Still, I can divide this by 4, right? It is 4. What is it? It is 25. It is 6, 10, 2, 20, 5, 0. Still, I can divide this by 2. It is 3, 1, 2, 5. Right? And how about this one? Not divided by 2. I can divide it by 5, 31. It is 6, 12. It's 2, 25. It is 5. And the rest we know that 6, 25, it is 1. What is 4 times 4 times 2? It is just 2 to the power of, or I can just write this 16, 32, right? It is 32. And this one is, what is it? It is just 3, 1, 2, 5, which means that I can write 100,000 as 32 times 3125. I can write in a lot of different ways, but to write in different ways, either I can take 2 and give to another number, or take 5, give to another number. At the time, one of the factors will be a multiple of 10, or just 10 will be a factor of one of these numbers. That's why the only way to write this 100,000 as a product of two numbers where none of the numbers is a multiple 10 is only this. So which means that now that your difference 3125 minus 32 is equal to, what is it, 3093. So the answer is only C. Last time, actually, I think we did a question with you. I think the same exact question. The question was 10,000. Right? What is 10,000? 10,000, we can write it as 8 times 625. Not 8, I think it is 16. 16 times 16 times 625. Right? The only way. At the time, the difference is, what is it? 625 minus 16, we got 609. A similar question, but it's a bit bigger number. And this question was asked, I think, for S1. You remember this question, Musa?
Yeah.
This one, 10,000, right? But here they asked in S2, 100,000. Maybe S3, they asked maybe, I don't know, maybe 1 million. Okay, the idea does not change. I mean, the idea is similar. Okay. All right. Musa, read the question.
The height of a man is 1,169 centimeters. Correct to the nearest centimeter. What is the upper bound of the man's height? Upper bound.
Okay, we have two words actually, upper bound and the lower bound, right? And here we are talking about a man. We are saying that that is 169, right? So if you just pick any number round off between this, actually it is 169. We call this a lower bound. And also over this interval, if you round up any number, it gives us 169. And what is the maximum number? Here it gives us upper bound, right? So what is the upper bound? So that when you round off this number correct to the nearest centimeter is 169. Among this, which one is it? It is C, right? Because if you round off this one, it is 170. And if you round this one, it is 170. And this one is 169, but it is smaller than 169.49. And also this one is 169, but it is smaller than 149, right? So upper bound here, we have 169.49. Okay, and how about lower bound for this? It will be, what is it? 168.5, right, or 50. If you just move one step to the left, then it will be 168.49, it will be 168. So 168.50, that is 169, correct, with two decimal places. Okay, so 169.49 is the upper bound for this estimation. Okay, that's interesting question. Daphne, Sona, Musa, everybody, think about this. Let's discuss, and maybe I will finish the question. Maybe we have 14 also, let's say, and the 13 or 14, two more questions. Sona, are you still there or already sleeping?
No, I am here.
Sona, read the question and let's think about this. I will give you 2 minutes. Okay, let's see if we can understand. It's very tricky point here. First, read the question.
Should I read out loud?
Yes.
Okay, a circle and a rhombus are drawn on a flat surface. What is the biggest number of the regions that can be formed on the surface?
Okay. Now I want you I want to draw your attention to, okay, circle and rhombus, and also regions, right? What is the biggest number? Okay, guys, think, and let me see. What can you find here? You have 1.5 minutes for this question.
Like rhombus, write down in circle, or let's say in circle or not.
It's up to you. You can just draw. You are allowed to draw a rhombus and a circle. Maximum, how many regions can you make?
Okay. Nine.
9. Okay. Let's see. Daphne, Sona, how many
Is it
regions did
8?
you find? Sona, 8. Miss Daphne? Princess Daphne, how about you?
Teacher,
My brain is tired. I cannot think of this. Okay, I got
I
it.
was thinking of like a bigger number.
So, did you get anything?
Actually, I got like 6, but then I was thinking that's very small.
Okay. First, let me draw our beautiful circle. Okay. And it says that a circle and a rhombus, right? And what is rhombus? It is something like this, and something like this. Okay. Suppose it's rhombus. So, Sona, how many regions can you see here? 1,
Oh, I said 8.
2, look, let's count this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right?
Oh, we count middle as well?
Is it also region? Do we count this region?
I guess we do.
But I'm going to show you one more, Sona. Now you'll get surprised. I have one more region.
Outside.
Can you see that
Outside.
region?
Yeah, outside.
What is it?
Outside. Like
Outside. Also here we have one more region, right?
Wait. Oh, okay. Yeah, I understood.
So it is 10.
but I write down a circle, a rhombus, like a small rhombus in circle, not like big rhombus.
Yeah, that's why I suppose that you have a table, right? And you're allowed to draw a circle and the what is it? A rhombus, for example. How many regions you can make? Actually, it is 10. So that as I
Mhm.
say here, this guy, it cannot move to another region, right? This guy, it cannot leave because they're all enclosed by some curves or lines. Okay, guys, let's solve the last question and we will finish the question. Okay, I mean today's class. Find the smallest whole number n for which 540 times n is a multiple of 168. Again, to do this one, actually, here we have 540 n. I can write it as what? Here we have 2 times 5, that is 10. 54 is 2 times 27, and that is just, let's say, okay, 27. And n, which is equal to, let's say here we have 4 times 5, times 27n. And how about 168? 168 is 2 times 84, 2 times 42, 2 times 21, and 3 times 7. Is that correct? So 8 times 21, right? 8 times 21 is 168. It says find the smallest whole number n for which 540n is a multiple of 168. So that means that when I divide this 140n over 168, it must be a whole number. Now from here, what is it? Here we have 2 times 2 times 27 is 3 times 3 times 3. And here we have 5 times n. And denominator 168, that is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 7. So these twos, they cancel each other, and three cancel each other, and nothing is left, right? For n to be actually the smallest, right, it must be divisible by 27, so that 540 will be 540 times n will be a multiple of 168. So what is n? N equals 2 times 7, that's equal to 14. Right? Otherwise, actually, I cannot simplify this. I cannot divide this by 7. The smallest number is, it is 2 times 14. I mean, 2 times 7, that's equal to 14. Okay. Musa, Daphne, Sona, thank you very much. Okay. Have a good night. I will see you on Wednesday. Okay, guys. Thanks for your attention, patience, and participation. Have a good night. Okay.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
too. Goodbye. Good night.
Thank
Bye.
you.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Goodbye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Sona. Bye-bye, Daphne.